Today, we've had a national tragedy.
The deadliest foreign attack on American soil since Pearl Harbor. A wake-up call to the world. Al-Qaeda, the most dangerous terror group on the planet. Now, it rarely makes the news.
There hasn't really been much of a focus on Al-Qaeda, which has given it the space to breathe and to re-emerge.
As Islamic State's caliphate crumbles, could its fall mean the resurgence of Al-Qaeda? For one, Al-Qaeda never disappeared. After September 11th and the US invasion of Afghanistan, Al-Qaeda dispersed and decentralized. Its Iraqi offshoot, a group of Sunni jihadists led by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, turned their sights from the far enemy, the West, to Shiite Muslims. They carried out thousands of attacks.
Their tactics were far more brutal, to a point where in 2005, Al-Qaeda sent a letter to Zarqawi saying, "Stop beheadings. We don't do beheadings. We don't want to disenfranchise local Muslim populations." So there was a huge ideological split between the two.
Al-Zarqawi was killed in a US drone strike in 2006. But a core group of his followers survived. They went on to form the Islamic State, eclipsing Al-Qaeda as the torchbearers of global jihad. But Al-Qaeda has not been idle. It's taken a more pragmatic and potentially more dangerous approach. Al-Qaeda has played the long game. In 2013, Osama bin Laden's successor, Ayman al-Zawahiri, came up with a new strategy. Though the West remains enemy number one.
مثل دعوتنا لأمتنا لأن تكون الأولوية في جهادها لضرب هبل العصر أمريكا.
But he decided a local strategy was needed, embedding in local populations, fighting the fight of the civilians, and building relationships and trust.
The local audiences are being wooed and won over because they're absolutely necessary in order for Al-Qaeda to have the safe havens in which it can operate.
The most formidable Al-Qaeda franchises have embedded themselves in complex local conflicts in failing states such as Somalia, Yemen, and Syria. Working as part of a broader alliance has been particularly successful for the group in Syria. Jabhat Fatah al-Sham, formerly known as the Nusra Front, said last year it cut ties with Al-Qaeda. The move was largely seen as a ruse, an attempt to make the front more acceptable to other Sunni groups. And now it's part of a rebel coalition that includes both jihadists and the more moderate US-backed militias.
They're very pragmatic in this. They know not to just show their flag and say, we are Al-Qaeda, because we won't be able to access these funds or access these opportunities.
Al-Qaeda also presents itself as a social movement involved in community development.
Building roads, mending schools, putting AC in hospitals, that kind of thing. What happens, however, is that it gets local populations on side, slowly, and then gradually grafts an agenda of global jihad onto that.
So Al-Qaeda doesn't control populations like Islamic State. It fights alongside them and gains their support. That, counterterrorism officials say, presents a bigger challenge. So, Al-Qaeda could be more dangerous than ever. In Syria, it's estimated that up to 20,000 militants follow the banner of the rebranded Nusra Front. In Yemen, Al-Qaeda holds major sections of coastline and highways, allowing it to run a smuggling network and keep local populations loyal by distributing goods and services. Its membership has quadrupled since the Arab Spring uprisings of 2011. In Somalia, AL-SHABAAB, the affiliate responsible for the Westgate Mall attack, has increased its membership to at least 7,000. And it's planning for future generations. It recently released a book called Children in the Nursery of Jihad, a how-to guide for nurturing young jihadists from an early age.
It was saying, don't give kids weapons and arms, and this is totally uncivilized. This is the kind of thing, obviously, that Islamic State does, and they were trying to make themselves distinct from that. No, we need to really indoctrinate them properly before we arm them. Ultimately, it also wants a global caliphate, just like Islamic State. It's just that it's biding its time.